she has gotten significantly bigger. Stephanie White confirmed it. Stephanie White has gone out here and confirmed that Caitlin Clark has been bulking up. Like, that she's bulked up as a player and that she's no longer, like, skinny and...
No, the WNBA was taken aback by more than just Caitlin Clark's amazing shooting range. She has been transforming her body and working out a lot. She now looks more explosive, powerful, and ready to rule like never before. And guess who looks so foolish right now? Indeed, precisely. Geno Auriemma. Remember his haughty remark that she couldn't handle the WNBA's physicality? Yes, in relation to that. As Diana put it, this child is going to have a rude awakening.
And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her. They didn't read the whole thing that she said, but nobody's printing. You know, Diana Taurasi was right. She's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
How then did this happen? More importantly, what does that mean for the league? Let's break everything down. How Clark went from taking cheap shots to become a significant force, and how WNBA defenders are suddenly very nervous.
All right, guys, we're starting a little TikTok weight room vlog. We're going to show you what we do.
Put that down.
Okay, speed. Okay, speed.
Wait, good for it.
Oh, she is strong. All right, guys, that's our lift. We are strong. Okay, we're actually strong.
Okay, we're powerful. What? Let's return to the first season of Clark. She was without a doubt exceptional. But let's be honest. They beat her. The defenders decided they would not permit the new superstar to join the league without a welcome committee when she first emerged. And by welcome committee, I mean being elbowed, bumped, shoved, and whenever possible, having your body checked.
I feel like I'm getting hammered.
Dejanay Carrington, Kennedy Carter, and Angel Reese were treating her like a crash test dummy, thinking that their constant aggression would scare her. And there was clearly a foul call. Clark, I mean.
That's clearly a foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
They thought that because she was too skinny and inexperienced, the WNBA's roughness would break her. And for a moment, some onlookers started to wonder if she could take it. Would she turn out to be simply another outstanding student who didn't succeed in the professional ranks? Expect spoilers because Caitlin Clark isn't built like the others.
I gotta ask you a basketball question. I know that you work really hard in the off season. You said yesterday you're always trying to get better. What's the thing that you're working on in this off season?
I think, honestly, besides the actual basketball skill part of it, I think I'm stronger. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm in the weight room a lot, just building that strength. Obviously, we started going right from the college season to the professional season. We spend a lot of time in the weight room, so that's what I've focused on the most here. And then obviously, a lot of things on the court. I'm always wanting to get better, and that's kind of what drives me, and I love it. I love getting to do it, and I feel very fortunate that it's my job.
Clark did more than just take those hits. He took notes. She did what all greats do, and refused to let up after witnessing firsthand how the defenders were trying to break her. She adapted. This off-season, she did more than just train. She fought back in the weight room. The periods when she was subjected to harassment, over. The days when the defenders thought they could shove her aside with a cheap shove, finished. Now her body is powerful. Her coach, Stephanie White, has already taken note of the modification. Clark is more than just a strong person.
Like, every time you're seeing Caitlin Clark out, it's like, okay, she's not as skinny as she was. And this is someone who, like, that's something that she really needs to, that's something she really needs to.
She has increased her resilience, speed, and toughness. Let's be truthful. If she was already putting up 30 pieces while being knocked to the ground, what do you think she will do now? Her arms seemed capable of swatting defenders away like flies. Her core strength remains constant. Her ability to absorb contact was completely different. More than just muscle was added by Clark.
It's like, one, is Caitlin Clark stronger, or do you expect her to get stronger? And two, like, what's realistic, like, in terms of from a great first year to now second year in the league where, it's not as new anymore, right? And you sort of know how the league plays, if nothing else.
Yes, she is stronger, first and foremost. And again, she's got a lot of self-awareness. And, she figured that out, right away. Like, I need to get stronger. I can't get knocked around as much.
She changed into an even more dreadful version of herself. Yes, the WNBA is also unprepared for this. For months, players tried to destroy Clark's life. They even had the gall to insult her as if they had truly stopped her after fouling her and knocking her down. She was already illuminating them despite all of that cruelty. Caitlin Clark, who is stronger, faster, and even more perceptive, is now their opponent. Geno Auriemma has questioned her ability to handle the WNBA's roughness.
Not that she was like too weak to be in the W, but she was too weak to be like an imposing presence in the W like she was in college, because she could be physically dominated. And then obviously we have seen throughout the offseason, we have seen like some of the transfer.
Now, Geno, what's your excuse? Because the full effects of Clark's sudden transformation into a monster will be felt throughout the league. Caitlin Clark fundamentally altered the direction of the WNBA. Last season, the defenders thought they could push her around, rough her up, and take her off her game. But this time, it's she who's making the contact.
Clark just dropped her daily off-season workout, and it's absolute.
This is why the WNBA was in big trouble.
She isn't being forced to leave her locations anymore. She's reclaiming her space. She's more than just a perimeter sharpshooter. By bodying them up and dragging them into the paint.
Geno, baby, if Caitlin Clark is on the team, it becomes the right team. Because Caitlin Clark is on it. It's like saying Michael Jordan's not on the right team. It's the right team if Michael Jordan is on the roster.
She is making defenders respect every square inch of the court. Which aspect is the best? They don't have any answers.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
Clark was already one of the league's most formidable offensive threats. But now she has a post-up game. Imagine Caitlin Clark using her newfound strength to put a defender under the hoop and then simply scoring or passing it out to an open shooter.
Somebody said the league is not ready for Caitlin. 3.0 MVP is hers. Yes, go. Fever admin, I love you. Caitlin put some weight on, bro. She definitely got in the weight room. And, like, I don't think Caitlin put weight on. I think Caitlin put a lot of muscle on. I think that's what the biggest difference is that we're seeing out of Caitlin. You know, going into this upcoming season, I think Caitlin put a bunch of muscle on, and it shows. It shows within her, you know, her body frame. It shows that the arms is bigger and her thighs is way wider. She definitely put some.
Since there are no longer any official ways to stop her, this is more than just a change for any club in the league. It's a nightmare. This has put the whole WNBA on high alert. Clark is returning for more than just a new season.
So Caitlin Clark in college was not the strongest player in the world. Like, she was somebody that wasn't weak by any means, but we saw when it came to the WNBA that she was kind of, she wasn't able to really assert herself physically.
When she returns, the defenders who thought they had her figured out will be confronted by a completely different beast. Yes, they will be humbled in no time. She hopes to become a generational force in the WNBA for many years to come.
Job of getting in the weight room and really focus on her areas that she needs to focus on in terms of strength, in terms of center of gravity, time under tension, like all of those things. I think the next step is efficiency, right? Like, not so many turnovers.
This isn't just an off-season change. This kind of transformation sets legends apart from excellent players. Caitlin Clark is, let's be honest, a planner. Whether Clark can use all of his newly developed strength in a gaming environment is the true question at hand. Yes, without question.
Genuinely think that Caitlin Clark had quite a lot of flaws, but so is still, even with flaws, she was that good that if she can figure out those flaws, she's going to be the best player. That's the reality of the situation. One of them was that she was very...
Not only has her body improved, but all facets of her game have improved as well. Caitlin Clark from the previous season is no longer a threat to the defenders. She has been replaced by a player who has added a whole new level of skill to her attacking arsenal, making WNBA defenders rethink their ideas about how to defend her. Do you recall her performance from last year? Her play was distinguished by her quickness.
I know what she's talking about, and confirming Caitlin Clark is strong is going to help a lot, because we saw after Olympic break when Caitlin Clark got stronger, she was posting up guards. Like, she doesn't have very many post moves, but that bang, double bang with her left shoulder into the turnaround layup floater thingies off the backboard. It worked really well. And I saw her taking some bigger guards in the...
Superb passing and outstanding shooting. That doesn't change. However, she has subsequently added power moves that will make her completely unguardable. The little guardsmen who previously tried to support her, she has changed as a player, and they will soon learn this the hard way. The consequences of Clark's diligent efforts to hone her post-up abilities are already evident.
Able to play a little bit in the post and able to shoot over people, that it becomes really difficult to put, for example, to put somebody like a Jordan Cannon up.
She's easily backing down defenders, spinning for easy finishes, and maintaining her footing against contact. Imagine Clark posting up, being bumped, and draining fadeaways like a seasoned all-star. This new threat has been introduced to her game, and defenders are not sure how to react. Moreover, it doesn't stop there. Clark's driving abilities have also greatly improved.
She's going to have that in her arsenal, and it's going to make her harder to defend. It's going to make her way, way harder to defend because, if you can't bully her, it means that the Dejanay handshake through three-quarter court isn't going to be...
Last season, while she was approaching the hoop, defenders had the power to throw her off balance. She is now making contact, absorbing the hit, and finishing forcefully at the hoop. The rimmed-out hard layups of the past? They're dropping now. This is about a complete transformation, an unwavering pursuit of perfection, and an attitude that doesn't accept limitations. It's not just about a player getting stronger. Caitlin Clark is not only improving, but she is also altering her style of play by turning every setback into a challenge to improve.
You guys saw this workout. This workout has gotten a lot of people excited for Caitlin Clark because she is directly working on her weakness, which I think is a good look, honestly. I think that's a really, really good look for her because, again, when we're seeing some working on their weaknesses and not the glamorous weakness.
Last season, the league thought they had her figured out. They believed that physicality was the answer because it would wear her down and reveal her weaknesses. But they miscalculated her resilience, her ability to adjust, and her will to face any obstacle head-on. Clark has never been more physically strong, emotionally resilient, or strategically savvy.
She's back in her natural habitat, back in lab, playing basketball, and it's got to be a scary sight for the rest of the WNBA if she gets even better, because it's not as if she wasn't absolutely phenomenally elite as a rookie and arguably the best player in the league after the Olympics.
She has perfected every skill, mastered every deed, and made the most of her imperfections. The defenders who thought they could restrain her are about to face a whole new beast. She's not just coming back, but she's doing it in style. The WNBA, what about it? They have no idea what will happen to them. Beyond her goal-scoring prowess,
they're working on a lot of finishes in this video, a lot of finishes at the rim, and maybe some different finishes that we didn't see from her in the 2024 season. Now, Coach KP told me that one of his goals for Caitlin was just to expand her bag. So no matter what defense is thrown at her, she has something.
Caitlin Clark has evolved by redefining her influence on the game. Her improved strength isn't just a physical change, it's a complete transformation that enhances all aspects of her playmaking. Defenses are unable to outlast, outthink, or defeat her as she develops into a powerful force. She is no longer just a proficient passer or shooter. She is generating previously unusable passing channels, maintaining her grip under continuous pressure, and fending off defenders with her physical strength.
Caitlin Clark. That's a really, really important thing. Gradually. And I don't think she bulked up a crazy amount. She's not going to be physically drawing people. I just don't think she's going to get bullied as much as...
Now think about this. At the top of the key, Clark is trapped by two hostile opponents who ram their bodies into her and try to take the ball. Instead, she keeps her position, handles the collision as if it were a minor one, and threads a precise pass through the confusion, straight into the hands of an open teammate who sinks an easy bucket, instead of hesitating or losing her bearing. The defense thought she was imprisoned.
There was a couple of times you could see her arms, you're like, okay, she's got a lot bigger. And I do like the fact that by the end of the season, she was taking people in the post a little more. And that's the one thing I like with Caitlin, is that not that she's got good post footwork, but she's got a good ability to kind of bump her left shoulder and then shoot over her right. That kind of layup hook.
But she had them just where she wanted them. In addition to avoiding double teams, she also manages them by using her power and vision to punish opponents who attempt to attack her. She was already one of the best playmakers in the game, but she is far more dangerous now that she is more physically aggressive. She can breach defenses like never before, makes judgments more quickly, and makes passes with greater accuracy. Every action, read, and help now has a new authority.
I think it's an inevitability that Caitlin Clark is the first player to ever average a double-double in the WNBA with points and assists. I think she's going to likely set the record for assists per game in a season at some stage.
Instead of just adapting to the league, she is causing it to adapt to her. And the scariest part, this is just the beginning. Clark is not only changing, no one can stop her from altering the game to fit her desires. And if you want to know how big of a difference this makes, ask the professionals. Clark is expected to average a double-double in points and assists this season, according to some, because to her enhanced strength. Take a moment to consider that. Every game is a double-double. That's not simply incredible.
A situation where maybe she's not the best player in the world straight away. Maybe she's not the best player in the world by game 10. We can't forget last year that she just got better and better and better. If there's an area where, like, I don't think it's far-fetched to say Caitlin Clark could average 23.
That's influence worthy of a Hall of Fame. However, this is what sets Clark apart from the others. She isn't focusing on a single area of development.
The goal is not for Caitlin Clark to be, realistically shouldn't be for her, to be the best player in the world tomorrow. The goal should be to be the greatest player of all time. And the best of all time, you don't have to be the best player in the world.
To ensure that no defense can take anything away from her, she is honing every element of her game. Do you recall that popular training video? 2 million views were posted on Twitter in a single day. There was more to it than Clark flaunting himself in a deserted gym.